This is easily the most versatile light I've ever used. If you've been looking for an all-in-one light kit you can use for lighting interviews, YouTube videos, corporate and commercials, and that you could then take to a wedding and use as a spotlight to light up a dance floor. Oh, and did I mention that it's super tiny? And it comes with a battery and it's RGB? This light is awesome. This is the Zhiyun Molus X100 RGB Cam Mackey edition light, and for the price, this is easily one of the most full-featured and capable light kits that I have ever used. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing this light from the perspective of a wedding filmmaker slash YouTuber slash freelance filmmaker. So if you are like me and you've been looking for a full-featured light that does basically everything, this review is for you. Also, for the sake of ethics, I want you to know this video is not paid or sponsored by Zhiyun, but I did ask them if they could send me the light so I could make this review, and they said yes, so here we are. Getting right into it then. I hope you like the color brown, as well as semi-flightless birds, because Cam slapped his logo and colors all over this light and its carrying bag, and it's definitely built in his style. Personally, I don't think it's a bad thing, and in the ocean of black and gray light cases, I like something with a bit of a different color. Now, as far as what is included in the box with this light, the word that comes to mind is versatility. I have to say, I think that Cam and Zhiyun absolutely knocked it out of the park here, because straight out of the box, it comes with basically everything that you would need to film an extremely wide variety of videos. Open the case, and of course you have the light itself, which has a very thin design that Zhiyun really pioneered, giving you an ultra-compact form factor that's still quite bright. But as with any good video light, the way that you can modify and control and shape the light is what's really important, and these modifiers are what make this light really special in my opinion. Up first, you have a Fresnel lens mount that attaches to the front of the light and gives you, by my testing, about a 15 to 20 degree beam angle, which is pretty darn wide. To be clear, this beam is unfortunately not adjustable. You can't make it wider or tighter, but in my opinion, this is not a big deal because this beam feels like it's in the sweet spot. I prefer a wider beam angle, and whenever I tested this light at a wedding, setting it up at the corner of the dance floor, shining out on people dancing, I didn't find myself wishing it was wider or tighter. It felt great and lit up the rather wide dance floor very easily. To be clear though, compared to a Fresnel spotlight like a Practilite 632 or Aperture 60X, this beam angle is not going to be quite as crisp on the edges. It has a good amount of fall off on the sides, but considering how wide this beam angle is, even if you're on a very tight dance floor, this light should still be wide enough for you to light the entire dance floor, which is excellent. Alternatively, if you're filming an interview or YouTube video where you need a good hair light for the background or an actual background light shining onto the wall behind you, this light with the Fresnel will work incredibly well for that too. Remember, we're talking about versatility here. This light gives you a ton of versatility. Then, continuing on this modifier train of discussion, we have to talk about the next feature this light includes in the box, a really nice set of metal magnetic barn doors. These barn doors attach incredibly easily to the Fresnel lens and give you a lot of control to help control the beam of the light. Remember, the beam is not going to be quite as crisp as other dedicated spotlights, but the barn doors help a ton with controlling spill and to make up for that. Look how easy these attach. Just click it on. So great. I was able to set up these barn doors and make sure the light only shined on the dance floor at the wedding that I filmed, and so it wasn't shining out on the sides, and it worked incredibly well. And if you're filming a wedding or something where you need to control the light spill, I think you're really going to love these barn doors. Speaking of things that you're going to love, that I'm also very surprised to see included with this light, you have a very nice compact and collapsible softbox, which, going back to this being an incredibly versatile light, if you need to film a talking head, commercial interview, YouTube video, etc. With most lights, you need to go out and purchase a separate softbox and go through the hassle of ringing it all up, but this light comes with it. And it's a great little compact softbox that more importantly integrates incredibly well into the carrying case that you get with the light. See, the bottom of the case here has these ring straps and they hold the collapsed softbox perfectly. So all you have to do is slide it into the rings and suddenly you have an extremely convenient way to transport your light, plus Fresnel spotlight lens, plus barn doors, plus softbox. This is a whole kit, and it's so compact and easy to transport. I really love it. Of course, here's that word again, versatility. I want you to notice too that Zhiyun wanted to maximize compatibility with this light. So in the box that comes with it, you also get a Bowens mount adapter that you can attach to the front of the light. And if you already have a spotlight attachment or a larger softbox, etc., and you want to use that with this light, you can very easily do that with this adapter. Unfortunately, I've not been able to find a way to transport the Bowens mount adapter in the attached case that the light comes with. But that's really a small complaint, and I don't know if I necessarily want the case to be even bigger for them to add another mounting point for the Bowens mount, so you're gonna have to put it in a different bag and bring it along if you want to, but that's okay. Now, I know we touched on this a little bit earlier, but we need to talk again about just how compact and lightweight this light is, because Zhiyun has managed to cram a ton of power into such a small design, where you have the light, you have a fan, and not much else, but it doesn't really need anything else. It works. But even with this compact size, this light can still get quite bright, easily giving you enough light even for a very dark dance floor at a wedding in my experience. And oh yeah, did I mention the light is RGB? Yes, this light is not just bicolor, able to change its color temperature, warmer or cooler, which, to be clear, you can also change it to do that. You can also use the RGB setting to turn this light into literally any color that you want. So if you're filming a dance floor at a wedding and the DJ was like, hey, I'm not gonna bring lights, well, that's a bummer. Now it doesn't have that party vibe. Well, you could turn this light into the party light by changing the setting to the RGB party mode, and suddenly you're making the wedding reception look like a rave, which can look really cool. Or if you're filming a YouTube video or an interview and you want to change the color of the background that you're filming in, or you want to mimic the look of moonlight coming through a window or really warm sunlight shining through, you can do all of that with this light. It's super versatile while still being so small. Oh, and it has an app that you can use to control it wirelessly to really dial in the color and make it work. In my testing, it worked great. But here's another thing. Going back to this light being extremely versatile with a very focused kit of accessories that comes with it. One of my favorite accessories is the included battery. To be clear, this light can be powered with USB-C or DC power, so if you have your own power delivery battery bank, feel free to use that, or you can plug in with the included AC adapter right into a wall. But we have to talk about this included battery that the light comes with. This thing is so small. It has 55 watt hours, so you won't have any issues bringing on a plane in your carry-on, and Zhiyun says this included battery will give you 34 minutes of full power runtime, which I hear you now saying, Matt, that's not much time. But hold up, because remember, I used this light at a wedding for about a 2-hour to 3-hour long reception, and because it was a relatively dark reception, I did not need to turn the light up to maximum brightness to make a big difference on the dance floor. I only had to turn it up about 20 or 30% brightness, which gave me dramatically longer battery life than you would experience at full power. I left this light on the entire time on the dance floor on battery power, and at the end, whenever I took it down, the battery still had 3 lights on the front of it, indicating that it had about 75% power left. This was super impressive, and whenever you consider that this light is so small, even with the battery attached, it just slots into the side and so cohesive there, this makes this light, and here's the word again, versatile. If you don't have the brightness turned up all the way, you could feasibly use this light with the included battery for an entire wedding reception. So here's my take. At a price of anywhere from $450 to $500 for the pro kit of this light that comes with the carrying case, Fresnel lens, softbox, Bowens mount adapter, barn doors, and battery, if you want a lighting kit capable of filming a YouTube video on Tuesday, a corporate or commercial video on Wednesday, and a wedding on Saturday, you don't need multiple different lights. You just need this one. And so if you are just starting out as a filmmaker and you're looking at buying one of your first lights, I think that this one is going to check a ton of the boxes for you. And heck, if you're already an experienced filmmaker and you're thinking about buying another light, this one could fit very well in with everything else you have because, and I promise this is the final time that I'll use this word, this light is versatile. I would have killed to have something like this whenever I was getting started instead of my Home Depot work lights that I bought in 2008. Wow, those things were hot. Literally made me sweat anytime I filmed with them, just burning my face. Anyways, you can check out the Zhiyun Molus X100 RGB light at the link in the video description. I will find wherever you can buy it the cheapest and link to it down there. Speaking of cheapest, you should also know that They sell a non-RGB version of this light that is cheaper, so if you want to buy that, you could. It does not come with all these accessories. You would have to buy them separately, but you could feasibly build out a cheaper kit if you wanted to, where you just buy the light and maybe the barn doors and the Fresnel, or just the softbox, etc. You see what I'm saying? So there are definitely ways to save money with this setup too, but I love the cohesiveness of this entire package. It's so great. I almost used the word versatile, but I did not, okay? It's great. Side note, by the way, you may have recognized him from the wedding footage, but this was Kyle Meshna's wedding that I filmed, and Kyle makes great YouTube videos about cameras and filmmaking as well, and I will link to his channel down in the video description for you to check out. Thanks so much for letting me use your wedding footage and letting me film your wedding, Kyle. Anyways, I'll also link down below to my wedding filmmaker gear guide. This guide is going to show you all the equipment that I recommend you purchase for wedding filmmaking, and I think it's going to be super helpful to you. And did I mention that it's free? You can download for free at the link in the video description. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos about filmmaking, video editing, lighting, etc. And have a great day.